Hello, and welcome to Inside Jacksonville, a production of the University of North Florida's School of Communication and the CW17. I'm Nicholas Leitner. We're here each month with stories about life on the First Coast. Up first this month, comic book art is thriving in Green Cove, and artist Kyle Willis is putting together quite the collection of heroes and villains on canvases. Inside Jacksonville's Mike Brandy takes us behind the brush.
Art is a form of expression. Local Jacksonville artist Kyle Willis expresses his art on comic book canvases.
I love painting.
Kyle credits his older brother and mother for his love of art.
Mom kept these dossiers on all the kids, these boxes that had progress reports from school and, any accomplishments that we had. And I went through them one day. I found them when I was a little kid, and I found my brother Darren's box, and I had all these drawings that she had saved. So I took them when I started trying to copy his work, emulating his work.
Kyle, who is also the owner of the Cowabunga comic book shop in Green Cove, is helping launch the 2021 Calvita Arts Festival at the Red Wine Bar, which just so happens to be down the street from Kyle's shop.
There's a woman named Sandra Royal, and she hosts the Calavita Arts Festival every year right across the street in Spring Park. The 11th, Monday, is going to be the first day of the week-long Calavita 2021 Arts Festival. So when she called me and asked me if I would do the event, I was like, sure, absolutely. Some
of Kyle's favorite comic book characters to paint include Venom, Wolverine, and Spider-Man. What will be on display at the Calvita's Wine and Cheese event? Well, that depends on Kyle's mood, as he lets the day dictate what he plans to paint.
Just the way he's blending his colors, doing the mixed media with the comic book on top of our acrylic paint, it's really neat.
Sandra Roy is the head of the Calvita Wine and Cheese event and was instrumental not only in helping Kyle acquire the space for his shop, but getting Kyle involved in Calvita for the last 7 years.
This year, we thought comic books are kind of coming into their own these days, so that might be a real fun event to do, and it's proved so.
Why does Kyle enjoy painting?
You don't need an eraser. If you mess up, you turn that mistake into a happy accident, not to be cliche and quote Bob Ross or anything, but it's true, there are no mistakes. There's just a need for more paint.
Mike Brandy, Inside Jacksonville.
To find out more about the Calavita Arts Festival, you can visit www.calavita.com. You can also find Kyle directly through Instagram and Facebook with a search of Cowabunga Comics. Atlantic Beach Cultural Corridor is bringing new colors to the Mayport area. Join me for a tour of what this event has to offer to its community. The Cultural Corridor is the intersection between community and creativity, where individuals, groups, and families can connect through local events, entrepreneurship, and sustainability. Its vision is to be the heart of North Florida's progression and act as a hub for the community.
I've been involved in the arts and music my whole life. So to me, just getting good people, like-minded people together to just celebrate all things art. Food is art, music is art, and of course the crafts are art. So I just like getting all these people together, seeing the smiling faces, and also it's cool when I see kids out here enjoying themselves. And people love the walls, and it's just, I love it all, to be honest with you.
The Art Republic, along with other local artists, came together to bring some light and spark to the Mayport area. The art murals allowed for a vacant property lot to be transformed into an area full of color. Anyone is welcome to check out the murals, with the Cultural Corridor events being held from 11 a.m. to 3 p.m. on every Saturday.
I just like that they're giving not just like creatives, artistically, but they're giving creatives in the kitchen, they're giving creatives like vendors and stuff, all just an opportunity to kind of showcase what we're doing and also promote the Mayport, area.
The owner of the land had originally seen an opportunity to do something special with his property. Rather than turning it into another space for a strip mall, the owner wanted to support the creative types by inviting artists, food trucks, and other various vendors to his events.
And I noticed that just with this type of venue, with these outdoor markets, it gives people a really good way to connect with other people and other vendors, because really we're all supporting each other. We're all out here doing the same thing. So it gives people an opportunity to be a lot more creative, a lot more open.
And it's just growing from here. We want this space to grow into like a full-on artist commune. That's the end-up goal.
Nicholas Leitner, Inside Jacksonville. Swing by the Cultural Corridor events on each Saturday to experience the live music and delicious meals from various food trucks. Jacksonville is home to a vibrant surf community, and Mike Wisnett has been providing it with custom surfboards for decades. Inside Jacksonville's Owen Kavanaugh gives us a look at how Mike shapes the boards before they hit the waves.
Jack's Beach is home to a long-running and vibrant community of surfers. For some, surfing is quite literally their lifestyle, like it is for Mike Wisnett, owner of Wisnett Surfboards. Mike runs his shop out of an Atlantic self-storage. It's a small shop, but someone would be hard-pressed to find another place quite like it here in North Florida.
I started out with a friend of mine in his garage, and we were doing about a board a month. We were both in high school, and we didn't want to go to high school, so we would rather build surfboards.
Mike learned to build his boards bit by bit through the years, through a mix of mentors and individual trial and error, originally just glassing them before learning to shape them by hand, which is now all done in-house. Mike Wisnett has been making custom surfboards in Jacksonville for over 30 years. Over that time, he's developed a loyal client base and become deeply ingrained in the Jacksonville surf scene. Customers can sit in and watch as their boards get shaped out of blanks in the workshop.
I go through kind of the motions the same, like I start out with the bottom, and then I go to the deck, and then I'll go to the rails. So I have I guess a process of how I do it, but every bottom is a little different, every deck thickness is a little different, every rail is a little different, so it's a matter of doing the details, filling in all the details.
Shaping a blank by hand requires the proper tools and a good setup. Mike uses carefully placed lights in order to see the grooves of the blank while he works. This method is undeniably challenging, and Mike could have invested in machinery to shape the boards, but this isn't just Mike's career. Custom surfboards are a passion of his. Wisnett surfboards have been and continue to be a unique part of Jacksonville's surf culture.
My board now is pretty tripped out, and it works for me. That's the beauty of custom boards.
Owen Kavanaugh, Inside Jacksonville.
Custom boards have been Mike Wisnett's passion since he was a high schooler. He's been shaping boards for years and has only gotten better with each new custom surfboard. Coming up, they grow it, cook it, and you eat it. We'll visit a First Coast farm-to-table experience. Also, after the break, we'll grind some beans and show what goes into a good cup of coffee. Stay with us on Inside Jacksonville, and we'll be right back. Welcome back to Inside Jacksonville on CW17. Up next, our Michael Tracy introduces us to the owner of a coffee company that is serving up more than just a warm cup of joe.
One man came from Nashville with a vision of starting a local business that's more than just a quick grab-and-go coffee shop. His establishment, Settling Coffee Company, is a refreshing concept that embodies sincere hospitality and comfort, as if you were enjoying a fresh cup right at home.
The name Settling actually means like to cause to sit, or it's the feeling that one gets after being nomadic and settling down in a place. And that's the feeling that we want to give to people.
Tyler runs his small business out of a simple yet effective double window setup near the heart of historic San Marco. The location promotes a warm sense of community and conversation, surrounded by murals showcasing beautiful artistic talent.
Tyler also uses the space to host market pop-ups and community gatherings to collaborate with local vendors and artists.
One of the tiny things that I like to point to as far as that value that we have is that all of our prices are rounded to the nearest quarter and include tax. Such a small thing, but when you're considering hospitality, like to know that the price that's written is what you're getting, it just shows what our intention is in providing an experience for people.
I'm not just like a customer here, you know, like I feel like we really are truly friends. And so I'm like supporting a friend, I'm supporting a local business.
Tyler's intention and mission statement is clear for Settling Coffee Company, and his business practices have proven to be more than just a cup of coffee for its customers.
I started coming here as a customer, and it was always incredible coffee and an incredible experience that Tyler, the owner, would produce. And it was like, man, I want to be a part of something like that. I want to be a part of something that's cool like that. And as someone who wants to own their own coffee shop, it's so cool to be able to be in it on this side and see how Tyler does it and how to create these experiences as a barista for the customer.
Bada bing and bada boom.
Tyler's vision and the positive message behind his brand is contagious when visiting Settlin Coffee Company. A welcoming smile comes with each drink served, a small gesture, a token of gratitude that also inspires future baristas to chase their dreams.
Michael Tracy, inside Jacksonville.
So if you're in the San Marco area, make sure to visit Tyler and grab a delicious drink at Settlin Coffee Company. Farming on the First Coast comes in many forms. Inside Jacksonville's Zach Yearwood shows how one local created and is farming his fields of his dreams.
In Clay County, about 25 miles from the heart of Jacksonville, is the Blue Bayou Berry Farm. Tom Morris bought about 8 acres of land in 2014. Since then, he has turned it into one of Jacksonville's most popular pick-your-own farms, giving the local community the chance every year to pick fresh blueberries and, more recently, strawberries.
What we want people to experience is just kind of the peaceful nature on the farm.
The majority of berry picking season is in May, and Morris says he sees hundreds of people line up daily to come pick berries each spring. Over time, Morris, along with his staff and his best friend Biscuit, have turned Blue Bayou into much more than a berry farm, but a tight-knit community to share his passion for horticulture with.
We've started some community events now where some community gardens where people can come out and help and then, take advantage of the produce that we produce. So it's really to be a all year long food source.
He's also added a petting zoo and fishing pond for visitors to enjoy.
Fall is outside of berry season, but Blue Bayou has found a way with its fall festival to keep the local community engaged.
Blue Bayou's Fall Festival is a 2-day event at the end of October that invites local vendors and musicians to showcase their work and promote their crafts.
It was just a way to do more during the year rather than just the 6 weeks that were open for picking season.
Go ahead. I didn't put this mouse out for nothing.
The festival includes games, food trucks, and the opportunity for guests to sow the very plants they'll be reaping in the spring. Some vendors, like Jackie Strickland, even got their start with a little help from Blue Bayou's berries.
Actually, my very first product was the blueberry jam that they hold in the country store. So they're actually, Blue Bayou is the one that gave me my jump start on my business. So, and thanks to them, I started out with the blueberry jam, and now I've got like 20 different flavors.
With all it has to offer, Blue Bayou gives family and friends alike a very good time. Zach Yearwood, inside Jacksonville.
There are sure plenty of healthy and tasty offerings to choose from. Jacksonville's agriculture scene comes in all shapes and sizes. And as Inside Jacksonville's Samantha Fitzgerald shows us, Congaree and Penn is going for the farm-to-table experience.
Congaree and Penn started as a small rice farm only 7 years ago. Since then, they have become a restaurant, a venue for all kinds of events, and an agritourism destination.
I think we always wanted to create community and have people come out to the farm, but I don't think we were envisioning it as what we are now, but it's better than what we could have envisioned.
Lindsay and her husband Scott are the owners and operators of the farm. Their most asked question is, what does the name mean?
Congaree and Penn, the name came from Scott's grandfather. He sailed a sailboat in World War II called the Congaree, and Penn comes from his mother's maiden middle name, which is Pennington.
The restaurant is mostly farm to table, which means a majority of the food they serve comes from local farms. However, there are a few items that go directly from Congaree and Penn's fields to the restaurant kitchen.
So our restaurant, we offer our rice. During the summer, we grow a lot of fruit, so we'll use that fruit in a lot of our dishes, like blackberries, muscadine grapes. And then we source a lot of produce locally from farms in the area.
Congaree and Penn have also perfected the art of cider making.
One thing we initially wanted to do was actually to make sake, but we kind of switched gears on that and we did the cider instead. So we are pretty known for our house-made ciders, our two main ones being our Gallberry and Noble cider. Those are the ones you can really find on draft all over the place locally as well.
Outside of the restaurant, the farm is open to explore, and you might see some friendly faces on your way around.
Our animals bring joy to the community. They're just our pets. So we have goats, ducks, chickens, guinea fowl, horses, and then we have so many wild birds out here. It's a really good bird watching place.
The food here is great, but a walk around the farm really makes your visit worthwhile.
My favorite was definitely the goats. They're so friendly, and they'll just come up and hang out and you can pet them.
The farm is open to private events year-round, but their open spots fill up fast.
We host a lot of private events, whether they're weddings or like a company holiday party or a birthday party. We do a lot of events, especially in the fall and spring when the weather's nice in Florida.
Samantha Fitzgerald, Inside Jacksonville.
The farm on Congaree and Penn is a great way to experience delicious foods and drinks, all while seeing amazing animals and scenery. Coming up, start your engines and get ready for a lap around one of the karts racing's most famous tracks. Plus, we'll take you inside the scrum and show you how Jacksonville is making its mark in women's rugby. You're watching Inside Jacksonville on CW17. Welcome back to Inside Jacksonville. If football Sunday isn't enough action for you, the Jacksonville Women's Rugby Club is off to an explosive start. Inside Jacksonville's River Cordova speaks with the team about how their season is going so far.
Jacksonville is home to many sports teams, but one you might not know about is women's rugby, a local league that's been going 15 years strong. I spoke with the head coach of Jacksonville Women's Rugby Club, Mel, about how running a league in Jacksonville works.
It is very spread out. So we would hang flyers in gyms, if we were at the bars and we saw people. But really for us, it's always kind of been trying to find a local middle of the road spot in Jacksonville to practice. I feel like that helps a lot, not being all the way in Riverside, not being in the beaches, kind of being somewhere middle. We do a lot of social media, recruitment on Facebook and Instagram and Twitter. We have a great social media director, recruitment director, and she does a lot of fun TikToks and stuff too, so I think all that's really helped.
Jacksonville Women's Rugby Club would be nothing without strong, dedicated players. I spoke with Nick Hurricane about what it's like being with the team since 2018.
A lot of people assume rugby is just like football without pads. You go out there, you tackle each other, get some anger out, but there's a lot of technique that goes into it and controlling your strength as opposed to just going out full force and hurting somebody.
Jacksonville Women's Rugby Club is always looking for new players, and they want you to know that there's a position on the field for everyone.
People think it's really tough, or they think that you have to be really big to play, and you don't. We always say there's a position for every single person. We do have some bigger powerhouse people. We have a lot of smaller, faster runners, and everything in between.
Do it. Get a pair of cleats, stretch, and do some strength training. But yeah, just come out there and do your best. Like anybody can do it. If I can play, anybody can play.
Jacksonville Women's Rugby Club has won their first 2 games and have a full fall and spring season every year. If you'd like to find out more about the Jacks Women's Rugby community, you can follow them on Instagram at Jacks Women's Rugby. River Cordova, Inside Jacksonville.
If you'd like to cheer on the team, you can find their full fall schedule on their Instagram at Jacks Women's Rugby. On 103rd Street, engines are echoing in the air. Inside Jacksonville's Casey Payton is showing us what the commotion is all about.
Here in Jacksonville on 103rd Street resides a city park free and open to the public 7 to 7 every day. With a 0.5-mile asphalt go-kart racing track and a 1,000-foot straightaway, there as well as the North Florida Kart Club, who all share the love for speed and are always welcoming new drivers.
They start as young as 5 years old. I have a 5-year-old and a 6-year-old right now, and the ages go up to as high as you want. I've raced against an 82-year-old in my racing career, so it really is just up to the person, and that's one of also the great benefits about this sport. Karting in general is very expensive, but after your initial investment of purchasing the carts, purchasing the safety gear, and the engines and the trailer that's required to take it all to the racetrack, the annual cost really isn't that much. But during club events, it'll cost you $35 to enter. We normally have about 45 to 50 entries for a local event,
we get anywhere from 250 to over 300 for a national event, and we hold about 3 to 4 national events here every year.
While membership to the club is optional, the annual cost is $50 with over a dozen club races. In between races, families cook and interact together, creating stronger relationships. And with this fun opportunity, all they ask for in return is to abide by their safety requirements, bring your own cart, and to respect the grounds.
Really is a great family sport. You can focus and make it as big as you want or as small as you want with the crew that you bring with you to the track. Family can come out and help celebrate the wins, and that's the great thing about it. It's just a really family atmosphere.
Everybody gets along, everybody helps each other out. It's enjoyable to be around people. It's, you know, everybody's competitors, but then everybody's friends off the track as well too.
When it comes to racing, everybody out here just loves it, so everybody's willing to help. You work all week and you come out here and it's just, you know, it's relaxing. It's just a blast to come out here and do this stuff. I mean, it's kind of like as close as a lot of us is ever going to get to NASCAR. If you got the need for speed, come on out.
Casey Payton, Inside Jacksonville.
If you want to experience the fast lane, the racetrack on 103rd Street is the place for you. Well, that's a wrap for this edition of Inside Jacksonville. If you missed anything from today's program, just visit our website, unftv.com, and look under the Digital Journalism tab where you'll find expanded versions of our stories, photos, interviews, and other extras. Again, that's unftv.com. You can also find us on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, and YouTube at InsideJacksUNF. From all here at Inside Jacksonville, thank you for joining us, and we'll see you next month right here on the CW17.